Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on life through music. Welcome and thank you for stopping by. It is fantastic you are here. Well, I trust you enjoyed my last video on Chris Tomlin, and through his song Amazing Grace, My Chains Are Gone, we looked at the amazing gift that grace actually is. So I trust you found that one an encouragement. Well, we're going from there to a bunch of guys that were formed at the end of the 1960s. Such a rich time of band formation around this time. Bands like the Doobie Brothers, Electric Light Orchestra, Led Zeppelin. Just so many bands were formed around this time. I think because of those four guys in Liverpool, I think they might have had something to do with it. But certainly the world of music exploded around this time, and these guys were just one of many that formed around that time. It was formed in the UK. Jeff Christie, vocals, bass, and singer-songwriter. Vic Elms on guitar, and Mike Blakely on drums, amongst a few others that have been with these guys. And the guys we're talking about today are the band Christie. Now, this may not be a band that you've heard of, but certainly there was a song that was quite massive for them, and we'll get onto that one in a minute. In fact, it was a UK chart-topping song, that is for sure. These guys are probably in the soft rock, perhaps the country rock, pop rock category. They have a very easygoing storytelling type of style about them, which makes them so compelling. The guys I'm talking about are Christie. Now, Jeff Christie, who was the creative force behind Christie, that's how they got their name. And yeah, it seems to work. So there we go. Now, between 1970 and 1974, they released 5 studio albums. That's actually 5 and 4 years. It's a pretty good effort, really. And then a bit of a reformation from 2004 to 2012. They have released another 3 albums. Now, incidentally, the last album in 2012, No Stone Unturned, was a double album. These are all the songs that they never got down that they actually decided to put down. That's why it's called No Stone Unturned. So 8 albums. It's a pretty good effort. If you think about 4 years and then another 12. In fact, I think these guys are still going to a certain extent. So there we go. So yeah, great storytellers. Just very raw and heartfelt lyrics. They sing lyrics that just resonate with us, and we think, oh yeah, I like that sort of stuff as well. And I think, yeah, I can just tap my foot along with this stuff, that is for sure. Now, we can't talk about Christie without, now I say that word a lot because I do like to try and go to the go-to song for particular bands. Sometimes there's more than one. These guys in particular, we can't talk about Christie and not talk about the song Yellow River. As again, this was a UK chart-topping song, very successful indeed for Christie. It came off their self-titled album in 1970. Now, Yellow River, it's in my heart, it's in my soul. It's the longing to get away to this place that you just go, oh, I can just forget about the world for a while. This is what this song's all about. Now, you may have caught up with before, but I actually live in Adelaide in South Australia. Now, Adelaide is a north-south running city, and we have pretty well a coastline all the way along our city, being St. Vincent's Gulf. So it's not actually the ocean, it's actually a gulf that we're on. But if you go down south about an hour, you get to the Southern Ocean. And so that's the place I want to talk about today. So Adelaide's got coastline on one side, it's got hills on the other. About 4 hours north, we've got the outback. And an hour south, we've got this beautiful little place in the world called Victor Harbour, Goolwa, Middleton, Yankalilla, Cape Jervis, all that kind of places. Of course, Cape Jervis is the gateway to Kangaroo Island, and that's absolutely stunning over there. And rebuilding after the fire, which is really, really good. So let me tell you about this place in Victor Harbor. It's a place I go to when I need to escape the world for a while. Normally just for an overnighter, and it's normally a place I go just to leave the world for a while. The world can be quite demanding at times, and sometimes we need to leave it behind and just go somewhere. I have a little bit of a ritual when I go down there. Of course, being on the Southern Ocean, there's quite rugged coastline down here. There's also stunning, beautiful beaches as well. So you've got to get a bit of everything down here. So I know for me, when I go down there, I tend to walk away from this place called the Bluff, which is kind of a bit of a hill. Probably takes about 20 minutes to walk up it. It's not that bad. But as you walk away from the Bluff, you're swept away by rugged coastline, crashing waves, and just no houses anywhere. It's just a really, really beautiful place. There's also a beautiful walk around Port Elliot part of the world, which is one of Adelaide's iconic beaches, particularly down the south coast. And certainly just beautiful walking around there. I make a point of grabbing a hot chicken hot pack down at Port Elliot and finding my little spot in the park, and I'll sit and have my chicken hot pack there. I take a knife and fork with me too, just to keep it a little bit civilised, I suppose. I then go to sleep for the night. Now, I like to sort of rough it sometimes, and I'll find a groovy little spot right near the Bluff, and I'll park there, and I'll sleep in the car overnight. Because I tell you what, there's nothing better that, particularly if it's a stormy, wet night, there's something really quite cool about being in a car when it's raining. Love it. You snug and warm inside the car, and you just feel a little bit alive. People sleep in cars at Victor Harbor all the time. It's a bit of a favourite place for fishing, so people might hang out in the jetty all night. So, it's no biggie, and it's actually quite a safe place to be, I'm thinking. Never been disturbed once yet. Of course, when you wake up, I'm looking along the coastlines. The first view that I see is the waves crashing against the rocks. So that's pretty compelling and pretty beautiful. If I wake up early enough, I may go for a walk up to the Bluff, about 20 minutes walk, and watch the sun come up. That's a pretty cool thing to do because we've got an uninterrupted view of the sunrise in Victor Harbor. So I'm feeling really, really peaceful and happy by this point. It's really, really cool. And normally after that, then I'll go over to a little place at Yilkee, the Yilkee General Store, with its blue painted wood, and the little group that goes there for coffee every morning, and I'll get one of their big breakfasts, hash browns and bacon and mushrooms and eggs, and a really, really good coffee. So I really, really quite look forward to that part of it. There's something nice about having a really, really nice breakfast in a really quirky little place like Yilkee, and I really, really enjoy that indeed. After that, if you do go to Victor Harbor, you've got to walk around Granite Island. It's just one of the things you do. Now, between the mainland and the island, there is a causeway. Now, the causeway has got this beautiful white railing on it, and it really is quite an iconic feature of Victor Harbor. There is a horse and cart that goes across it, so you can actually get across on a little carriage and get taken over by horses. But it only takes 20 minutes to get over there, so it's no biggie. And so when you're walking across from the mainland to the island, across this beautiful water, you think, oh well, I'm really in no man's land at the moment, and I love it. And of course, as you walk around the island, which you've just got to do when you go to Victor Harbor, and you think, oh wow, isn't this amazing? We've got the secluded, mysterious parts of the island. We've got mainland views, and we've got the rugged Southern Ocean side where the waves are crashing and bashing himself against the rocks. And every now and then you might see a penguin. They're not so common as they used to be, but it used to be quite a big colony of penguins on the island as well. You kind of just knew where they were. You just have a bit of a quick look and then kind of leave them alone. And it's good to note that the cafe has reopened on Granite Island. So if you need to have the coffee before you leave, that's something you can do. So we do the walk around the island. That's something I always look forward to. And just to top it off, I then drive over to Goolwa. And so Hindmarsh Island is where you go to get the view of the River Murray mouth. And so I go and do that. Hindmarsh Island is even more remote than Victor Harbour, which is really cool. Then we take an iconic road back through some beautiful dairyland country to Meadows, and we have a coffee and apricot slice at the Meadows Bakery. And then we head off home. So all of that's about a day and a bit. But when I come back, I feel like I have left the world for a while, and I do feel refreshed, ready to face the world again. Much like Jeff Christie when he was singing about Yellow River, he's thinking, yes, in my heart and in my soul. I think I'm physically joined to Victor Harbour now. It's the place where I go when I want to escape the world. That is for sure. So I suppose the question is, where do you go when you want to escape the world? Do you have some groovy little place that you go? Some little nook, some little cranny somewhere that you think, oh yeah, it's so good that I'm back here. I don't need to go to Victor Harbour all the time. I just need to go there every now and then, and it kind of keeps the specialness of it a bit. I'm hoping for all of you watching out there that there's just some little place that you go to, whether it's a little local beach or a little bit further away. I think there's something good about leaving the city. I think there's something good about doing that if you are in the city. As you leave in the city, finding a little secluded base somewhere and just hanging out there. We all need to get away, because when I come back, I'm ready to get back into what I do with refreshment and vigour. And it's really, really helpful, I'm finding, to actually do that. So where is your place? Where do you like to go? If you haven't got a place, can I really suggest that you find a place? It's all about just getting away, right? So we don't need this pristine hotel. We just need somewhere we can put a pillow and a couple of sleeping bags on the bed and just sleep for the night. Now, Victor Harbour gets dark at about 6:30, 7 o'clock, so there's no point really doing anything after that, so I'll tend to go to sleep and wake up around 6. Just the way it works down there. You don't need pristine resorts or pristine hotels. You just need to escape. And you need to be able to escape quickly. I can be ready for Victor Harbour in about an hour, if that. And I'm just hanging out to get in the car and go. Because Victor Harbour is beckoning. So, you don't need much. One set of clothes. Don't even worry about the shower. Just go. Hack it a bit, rough it a bit, just to get away. Of course, some people might like a little bit more luxury. Some people may take a tent with them. I actually find the car quite easy, really, because you just lay the seat back and there's your bed. Put a quilt over the top and you're done. So we don't need pristine here. We just need to get away. And to have our breath kind of taken away by the stunningly beautiful places that this world has to offer. So if you need to get away, do it. Even if it's just for one night, get away. You're really, really glad you did. So trust that will all be a bit of an encouragement for you today. Well, on to the clips. So as I said, Christie are great storytellers. They're really just, the pictures that they paint really just resonate within us. And we think, oh yeah, I want to go to Yellow River, that's for sure. Well, in my case, Victor Harbour. For you, it could be somewhere else. So yes, Yellow River. This is I think it's live. It's not always easy to tell sometimes. They are playing their instruments on stage, so let's just leave it at that. The UK chart-topping hit. This came off their self-titled album of 1970. So there's that one. We've also got San Bernadino. It's kind of in the same vein as Yellow River, a place where he goes when he travels through the world. It's San Bernadino that gives him peace of mind as he brings back the memories of there. That also came off the Christie album of 1970. And again, this is kind of in the studio, television studio kind of performance. So yeah, that's probably the best way to explain that one. We then got Fool's Gold. This came off their next album, For All Mankind, of 1971. This is just a song about, this is just a really, really great track, this one. This shows a little bit of sort of the way the band progressed from one album to the next. They became a little bit more complex with their production. And yeah, this song, Fool's Gold, is quite a good track, really. It's worth having a look at because it's a good one, just that's for sure. So that's actually another sort of television studio clip, and so that one's there for you today. Now, all of the links to those 3 songs are in the description below, so that is where you will find them. I never embed my videos in my videos. I'll always create links below. I just find that way things don't get blocked and it's all kind of nice and easy and simple. And you may not want to look at all of the Christie songs. You may just want to look at 1 or 2 of them so that you can choose what you want to do there. And that's all about choice, really, and what you would like to do. And by the way, I've also included my last video from Chris Tomlin. So if you want to recap on that one, feel free, for that one is there for you as well. Well, if you've come back for another video, really, really fantastic you've done so. And if this is your first time to Life Reflections Through Music, welcome to the channel. It's really, really great that you've joined me. And for everybody who's watched up to this point, thank you very much for doing so, for hanging around to the end, because we do put a bit of effort into these videos, so it's good to kind of be able to get the engagement that we're getting, which is fantastic. Well, that's it for today. Next time, we're going to go to pop princess from the 1970s, Christie Allen. She was an Australian lass, and so with her massive song, He's My Number One. So until then, I'll catch you around. Bye for now.